Hey everybody, I'm Joey and I'm here today with our spooky Halloween craft along with Allie and Joey. So Allie is my partner that we collaborated with on this event, and she helped design part of the cards, and then I also designed part of the cards and projects. We have some treat holders for you too. So we will get started. I see there's 3 watching, so I know I'm late for those of you that like to watch live. I apologize for that. I am sick with something. I started a couple of days ago, and I thought it was just allergies, and yet it wasn't going away, even on and off, even when I was staying indoors. So anyway, long story longer, I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't know if I could go live today. But we've had this event planned for so long. Pardon me, I have a cough drop in my mouth too. So hopefully I don't start coughing halfway through the video. We've had this planned for so long, and it's hard to reschedule events when everyone is planning on you being there at the right time. And you're planning on being there at the right time. Okay, so that's that. Also had technical difficulties. I have a fairly new program for going live, so I can show you both my desktop and my workspace, my desktop and my face. And I've been going really well, really smoothly for quite a few weeks, and then today I couldn't get my camera to show on my face on my desktop. So anyway, thanks for being here. I'm so happy you're here to spend some time with me crafting. I've got, I think, some pretty fun ideas for you to either use this stamp set with the Spooky Halloween Bundle, is called, from the Spooky Suite, S-U-I-T-E. They're online exclusive, these products, and they will be, they're not found in a catalog. That's the only thing that online exclusive means. It's just not in a printed catalog of any kind. So you won't find it there, but you can find it online if you do a search for online exclusives. Let me go ahead. I'm going to check the comments and see if I'm getting some comments. Oh, Tina. Hi, Tina. Hi, Julie. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. It's so sweet of you. I'm happy to be here with you. You know, I just would have been depressed, I think, to just lay around all day. My husband's working from home today, and he said, I hope you're going to just rest today. And now that he's home, he knows I'm not doing that. But I will this afternoon. I have some things to get out. So let me talk just a little bit more about the Craft Along. So some of you pre-ordered the kit, the Craft Along kit. We knew we would not get those out in time for today's live video. We had told you we would send them on Monday. But Allie had some family things going on, and she was delayed getting her PDF tutorial to me. I put the PDF together, and anyway, so long story longer, I couldn't prep my products, your kits, until I had her PDF tutorial to tell me the measurements and everything, because I hadn't made her projects yet. And then it was just one thing after another this week. So when it rains, it doesn't just pour, it really storms, at least here in Nebraska. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. But today we're going to have some fun just stamping. So I'm going to put you down to my desktop, and then we'll get started. So those of you that purchase the kit or the tutorial, I have it all done. So I have your kits all done. They're prepped. They're ready to go. I'll show you what they look like. They'll have a label in it that looks like this on the front, so that you know what kit this is, in case you're starting to collect multiple kits this season. All the pre-cut cardstock is divided and into each individual project. You get half a pack of the Spooky Sweet Designer Series paper. You're getting a whole pack of stars and a pack of the Petunia Pop ribbon. I also have a treat that I purposely took out of this kit. It's a cute little surprise. I hope my people think it's really cute and it'll make them smile. And that's something they can use too. But I can't tell you anymore because it's a secret till they get their kits. I expect those to go out tomorrow. I will finish. They're not in mailing envelopes yet. They're all ready, but I have to weigh them and put my mailing labels on, and then they're ready to go. Now, so with that, everyone also got our PDF. So these are the projects I'm going to make today, and tomorrow I'm going to make the other 3. We've got measurements, dimensions, direct instructions, and then a full list of supplies. So if you want to know what we made to use that particular project, you have them. And then also, this is one of my bonus projects. So I thought I only made 1, but I ended up with 2. So I threw in an extra project from me, and Allie threw in an extra project. Here's one of my other projects. It's hard to see. It's a little treat holder. And then we have Allie's cards and her treat holder. And then we have her bonus card. And so there are a total of 9 projects in this. You have the kit you'll have the kits for 6 of those, and then you'll have 3 bonus projects you can use with your leftover supplies. Now, if you missed out on that and you want the PDF tutorial, there's 2 ways you can get it. You can get it just purchasing it straight out for $25, or you can put in an order of $50 this month on my online store. The link is in the video description on YouTube, where you click more. Click on more, and then you'll see the link to my online store. So if you put in an order of $50 or more, you're going to get this PDF tutorial for free. And then I'm also offering this month a bonus tutorial of 9 projects that Allie and I both did as well. And everybody that spends $35 or more in my online store will also get this PDF. So if you bought the kit or you put in an order this week, you're going to get a lot of ideas and inspirations in our PDFs. Oh, I've been stamping this week. I forgot to change my paper. Well, that was actually the least of my worries, because I wanted to spend my energy on getting ready for today. I do want to show you, I just finished my club projects. This is with a gorgeous new suite of products that's in the new mini catalog. I can't show that to you because Stampin' Up! Doesn't want us to, but this is a suite of products called Autumn Twall. And these are my cards for my club this month. My club is a subscription club, and you can subscribe to it with shipping or without shipping. I do meet this class in my home as well. Here's a cute fun fold. This is one I haven't tried before, but I know I'll be doing it again. And then this one, this gorgeous card with this. This is a new foil that goes with this suite. Anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also just try it for 1 month. So in my video description, there's also a place to click for more information about clubs, my club. So there's that. I have been having fun working with fall. I love fall. If you know me, you know I love fall. This is what we're working with today, though. Spooky Halloween. This is so, so cute. For those of you that know me, I'm not really a big critter person, but come on, a puppy and a kitty, the kid doesn't get really cuter than that. So let's go ahead and make some cards with this. These are the dies that come with this set. Now this die is kind of deceiving, so it cuts out, when you cut it out, it cuts out this shape, but it also cuts around this bat in the front so that it will pop up. Kind of like, so you could make what my friend did is make my brain, I hope my brain catches up. Well, I think I have it here. Hang on. Here. This is what she did with it. So she put it on inside like, oh, this isn't the same card. This is a different card. Sorry, I lied about that whole thing. She made another one for me, though, that uses this. It's a pop-up. What am I trying to say? Easel card. Oh, my gosh. So she used this little bat going like this in on her inside of her card, and then this made the easel, the little bat popping up. Gosh, that was a lot of explanation for something that probably really didn't need all that. But you've got a cute little haunted house. We're going to play with that today. We're going to use the bats and the fence, and then of course the two cute little critters and the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern. So that's what we've got. So today I'm going to use the little iridescent treat bags. If you have seen those, if you're a Stampin' Up person, they are a little treat bag that comes in just a group of bags by themselves, and they are truly iridescent. They kind of have that purpley iridescence, but they also have orange in them when you turn them in different directions. So I thought, why don't we use that as such a cool effect? Let's use it on a card. So why don't we do that part first so you can see how to do that. So these are the way the bags come. And what I did for this is I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper. This is 3 by 5 1/4. And then all I did was I just made this sack smaller. So I slipped this in like this. Let me grab my paper trimmer. And then I think I lived dangerously, and I just cut off. I will put in my my cutting blade right next to the DSP, and then I did it this way as well. So I'm going to just get that really, really close there. Whoops, I gotta grab a Kleenex. Hang on. Okay, so now right now, obviously, it is not adhered to anything. So you have this, and then this makes kind of your little pocket for it. So the side is open and the top is open. So what I did, I don't know, I made these quite a while ago, but what I think I did was, because this was kind of trial and error, I remember, take a little bit of adhesive on the back of your DSP that you want to show. And I thought this was cool with all the little haunted houses. Make sure you're going the right direction. And the little black cats and pumpkins. That was cute. So now I'm going to try and not catch that adhesive on here. And I'm going to slide my little bag in and then scoot it down. Now, when you look at this card, you can see that the house, this whole part is going to cover some of this. So then I just went in with my adhesive where I knew that it wouldn't show. And then I just glued it down. Now it doesn't show too much anyway, but if this was on the front, you would see it if it wasn't covered up. So that's how I did that. And then I probably did a little bit more up here, just to keep all those ends closed. So all we did was we just adhered our DSP into our card. I didn't match that up very well, but we're going to call it good for the sake of video today. Okay, then you'll take your Petunia Pop cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish my cardstock here. And then we'll just go ahead and adhere this as a panel. You could cut your cardstock the other way too. You could definitely cut it 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and score the long way at 4 1/4, but I did it the other way. I think originally I thought I was going to tie my ribbon around it, and I ended up making a bow, and I'll show you what I did when we get that far. So here we go. I just thought that made such a cool background for my card. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Then let's do a little stamping. I did go ahead and pre-die cut the label we're putting on today, and actually all the little bits, just so the video goes a little bit faster. Just, I'm doing 3 projects and 1 is a box. So whenever you do a box, your video is going to take just a little bit longer. Okay, let's grab our piercing mat and let's get our Memento Black out and Happy Halloween stamp. I am so ready for Halloween. I've been making so many projects. I'm going to have a lot of my people, friends and family are getting Halloween cards this year because Allie and I really went to town on this bundle. We just had so much fun with it. Okay, now this is going to go this direction. Did I say what I cut this from? This is from the Everyday Arches dies. It's just a set of arches. They're all close together in size, but a little bit smaller and a little bit bigger. Now, since I'm stamping Memento Black on colored cardstock, I'm going to press down a little bit harder and hold it just a little bit longer. Our other ink pads are, let me grab my tissue again. My nose is either stopped up or it's running. There's not much in between. Sorry, so sorry. Our other ink pads are a foam mat. This is, the Memento Black is a felt pad. And so for that one, you have to push down just a little bit harder. And make sure your stamp is inked really well. And I'm putting this as, I don't know. What is this? This is 2.5 by 3 1/4 on just an 1/8 inch bigger mat for this one. So we've got all this. I think I'm actually ready. We need to tie a bow. Let me grab my ribbon. And I know both of us purple lovers. Now, pink is my favorite, so pink comes over purple, but I think Petunia Pop. Can you see how shiny this is? I absolutely love tying bows with this ribbon. It's soft and easy to tie, and it has that shimmery sparkle on it, which makes it so pretty. The other reason I didn't want to, move my Facebook Live back is look at my nails. I don't know, you can't really tell. I got them as close to Petunia Pop as I could, and that was Friday because, of course, I knew we were having our big craft along this week, so I thought, oh, I think I'm going to get my nails the color of Petunia Pop, or as close as I can get. It's probably a little bit darker, but if you don't know what Petunia Pop is, you wouldn't know, but it's this color. In case you're new to stamping or new to Stampin' Up, you're like, well, what is Petunia Pop? Stampin' Up always met, oh, I did this differently. Oops, whoops. Okay, see if this bow is big enough. I guess it is. This doesn't go flat. Okay, this bow doesn't go like outside. It's going to go on the tag itself. So the reason I said, oops, I did that wrong, is that meant I put the mini glue dot on the wrong side. So now I'm going to put it on the front side of the bow. I think it would have worked either way. And then we're just going to, we'll kind of see how I did it that time because I like the way it turned out. And then we're just going to, push down so that mini glue dot adheres. And then we'll set that aside and we'll make the rest of our card. So let me grab what we've got done already. And then we're just ready to finish this one up. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And we'll get this guy glued up. Get the backings off. This morning, or was it yesterday morning, I found a dimensional on my bed. Teddy sleeps with us sometimes. I'm going to just try to get this fairly centered. I need to have room for my greeting at the bottom because it's kind of big. So I'm going to maybe go up a little bit more. So the dimensional must have been caught in his fur. They are everywhere. Does anybody find dimensionals everywhere and anywhere? I know I do. All right, so now for the windows in the house, I just used 2 strips of peach pie glimmer. It's in the 2020. Let's see, 2026 in color glimmer paper. I think I might have forgot to put that in my list of product supplies on the back of or in the bottom of my video description. I'm just looking here for adhesive. What do I want to use? I think I used actually mini glue dots. Glimmer paper does not love, well, I think I did use a glue. Glimmer paper does not love to be glued because, you know, it has texture on it. So what I'm going to do for this piece is 1/2 by 2 1/8, and that goes on this side. I'm going to turn it upside down. And this piece is 3/4 by like 2 1/8, something like that. You might have to cut it off, but that's how wide I made them. Now the only thing with liquid glue, sorry, gotta grab a tissue. The only thing with liquid glue and glimmer is, again, it doesn't love to stick. And it takes the liquid glue just a moment to adhere, so it might slip around on you a little bit. Just gonna go, oh dear, am I out of, I go through Tombow so fast. Whoops, I got some. Hopefully enough for the video. And then I'm gonna go everywhere. I don't want to get my glue in the windows, obviously. So I probably went over too far on that, but we just need to get this guy to stick down. Okay, so let's grab our, I tried the first one I did this, I just tried to cut around. I cut my piece like this long, this wide, and this long, but then I had to still trim around everything, and trimming around the glimmer paper is not particularly easy because it's just a little bit thicker. Okay, I think I'm going to try, I don't remember how I did it before, but I think I'm going to try to go ahead and you don't want your glimmer paper above so it will show right there. I might have cut mine a little bit long. Oh, it has to cover the window because these are the windows. The glimmer, it's making the window through the haunted house. Let's see if we got that pretty good. I think we did. Yeah, now you can see that I probably cut this glimmer, it looks like it should be 3 inches. Nope, sorry, 3 inches. Good Lord, Joey. It looks like it should have been 3/8 inch. So what I'm going to do, so those of you that bought the kit, I probably did cut all these the same. Mine is same as yours. So you might have to trim this a little bit. Or if you do it, if you find that out before you actually glue this all down, you could just trim it to 3/8 of an inch instead of 1/2 an inch. Got a little bit more here. Let's go in here. Just trim it around. Snip this off. There we go. Okay, so now we have pretty sparkly windows in our gray haunted house. Okay, got that. We're ready. Now we can go ahead and put our haunted house on our, I'm trying to be careful to not, you know, move the glimmer, and I already did, for peace sake. I think it still shows on the front, but, you know, another idea, and it's what I started to do, and then I switched to liquid glue, but mini glue dots do stick very well to glimmer. So you could just put some strategically placed mini glue dots on the back of your house, and then put your glimmer strips down. And then you don't run the risk of it moving around like mine did. But once it dries with liquid glue, it stays. So let's go ahead and get our haunted house up here. We want room for our fence to show. So I think I'll go pretty close to the top of this panel. Now for the fence, I am going to use mini glue dots. Lord willing that I can find them. Oh, my friends, I'm so happy you're here, and I'm happy we're friends because hopefully you can stick with me through these moments of who in the world. Oh my gosh, they're right here. Do you ever have anything right in front of you and you can't see it? I think that's the story of my life. Okay, I'm going to turn this over. And I'm just going to, I rolled up this mini glue dot, and I'm going to roll up a few more. You can just roll it with your fingers and then lift them off. And I'm just going to kind of strategically place these like in the middle of the fence post, going up and down, and on the ends to make sure those stick really well. And that's probably enough, but for the sake of security, let's go ahead. I'm going to roll one more. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Tissue. Last night I couldn't breathe because my nose was so stopped up. I'm going to go down on this fence post near the bottom, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in a moment. And then, of course, during the day when I'm trying to craft online with you, then my nose won't quit running. I'm sorry for the graphic. I'm sure you're going, we don't really need to hear about that, Joey. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I want my fence to kind of show going up in front of my haunted house, but I'm going to bring it right down to the bottom of the DSP. Now, the reason I didn't put mini glue dots up here on these is because I didn't want them to be pasted down, because this is kind of an uneven surface right here. Now, you might want to even just use adhesive sheets. If you like everything, you know, pasted down securely so it doesn't have a chance of getting bent, you might want to not do it that way. You might want to go ahead and put adhesive sheets on it. Okay, so let's go ahead with this guy. So you saw what I did. I just tied the bow and then I adhered it to the back of the greeting. That's a good way sometimes to add ribbon to your card if you feel like it just needs a little bit more dimension. It's just, and you just don't have room for it on the front of your card. Whoops, this isn't going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is because there's a dimensional there. And I'm going to come down here with this just to make sure I don't hit that. Have two dimensionals in one place. Just for mailing. You don't want it to be bulky for mailing. Whoops, that doesn't want to go either, does it? Oh, I probably do need one more here. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, there's a flat place right there. And we'll go ahead and pin that down a little bit more. Now, for the sparkly part of our card, let's grab these foam stars. What are they called? They're called Shimmer Star Foam Stickers. Take your pick tool. And then I liked the black stars for this card, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But any of these stars would work. So there's 3 sizes. There's large, medium, and small. I'm going to go like right here. Let's take a large one. Like go down here. And then I guess I put as many as, I put 4. Usually I do 3 or 5. I don't know what I was thinking, but we'll get it fixed up. One down here. Maybe one more tiny one up here. Just to balance it all out. Little group of stars up there. And there you have them, my friends. Now, I didn't get insides on my cards. I was, you know, as everything was going, things were just kind of hectic. But I definitely will put a piece of white, 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside and stamp a greeting on the inside. Okay, so let me know if you would make that card. That is a card that anyone can make. And I hope that you saw that you could make that too. My hope is that I show you, give you ideas of how to use your supplies, and that you'll try it. You know, you'll. I'm getting out my bits from my second card. That you'll give it a try, and then you don't have to think about the design. You can copy my design if you want to, and if you don't want to, just get your supplies out and have fun. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going in the order of the tutorial, which none of you have that tutorial yet, but you will. The people who purchase the class plus the people who purchase the tutorial will have it, I hope, today. My plan is to get it out today. It's all done. Allie proofread her projects last night. I made the corrections. We didn't have too many, but just a couple measurement issues. This DSP is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's just on a piece. It's just about 1/8 of an inch bigger. And this, I did the same with this card. I think once again I thought I was going to tie the ribbon around it, but I ended up putting the ribbon right on the card. So let's go ahead and assemble our card. Now this card, the layout for this is kind of fun. So if you have small scraps in your with your designer series paper, and I should have 2 of those. Let's see if I do. I cut it just this morning too. Oh my gosh, is it here? Nope. Well, we're going to cut a little bit of paper. So this one goes up here in the corner. This piece is I have it. Good heavens. It's 1.5 by 2. So when you have scraps, this is a really good layout to use up some of those scraps. And it's easy cutting. 1.5 by 2 is very easy to remember. Get this up here. Let's do this guy. This is the back of that same paper, the candy paper. Sorry. Good thing you're not here. You'd be going, you need to go blow your nose. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do some stamping before we get too far here, because we're going to color this little kitty. We're going to color the kitty. And I just need to grab a piece of scrap paper. Now in your kits, those of you that bought the kit, there is, this is bigger than I wanted, but let's just go ahead and go with it. There is half sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, white, for you to, for your things that you have to stamp, and then die cut. So the other die cutting that is not part of the suite, that's all been done for you. Let's go ahead and stamp this little kitty like so, and then I'll go ahead and color her. She's not too hard to color. I don't know why I call the kitty she and the dogs he, but while we're doing this, why don't we just go ahead and stamp the little dog, and then that part's done. Because we'll use him on my box. I made a cute box for you. It's my design, and it's to fit Reese's pumpkins, and I'll show you how that's all going to work. But let's go ahead and stamp him. We'll color him later, but, well, maybe we'll just take the time to go ahead and color him for, then we'll have all of our coloring done for 2 projects. And then all we have to do is die cut and assemble, and I will show you how to cut the box. So let's grab, I'm going to grab my box so I can see what colors I use. For the most part, Ellie and I just used the colors that are in the DSP. So we used Petunia Pop for our little critters. We used either peach pie or pumpkin pie. I think on my first little dog I did peach pie, but you could do either peach pie or pumpkin pie. They both work. I'm going to go ahead and let's start with Petunia Pop. Now I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to be the best colorer in the world, because if you love to color, then you can just take your time. Sorry, I have to keep, whoops, oh, the kitty's not purple, just her top. And there's her little paw. But as I said, I'm not going to take a lot of time to do a lot of shading, etc. I might do a little bit, not too much, because coloring does take time on the video, and I think it's easy for you to color any way you want to. You don't even have to use my coloring. But so then I did her top in Petunia Pop, and then her little socks I did striped with Petunia Pop and Lemon Lime Twist. I think this one is Petunia Pop. Yeah, cute little kitty. And then I did Lemon Lime Twist. You know, I've got this out, even though I already closed it. The puppy's sucker is Petunia Pop as well. And then I think I gave him some Petunia Pop pants. I know he's a boy. Well, maybe he is a girl. Puppies can be girls or boys, but I'm just thinking. In my eyes, he's a boy, but he might not be. Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm blithering. I'm high on cold medication. I've been taking Advil sinus. I just ordered some Tylenol sinus from Target. Cough drops. Flonase. I should be set. Okay, let's color our kitty with Smoky Slate. These are the colors, as I said, that are in the designer series paper. So that's always a good bet when you're buying paper to look at the colors. They're always listed, either online or if you have a paper catalog, they're listed in the paper catalog too. Get her little tail. As I said, I'm not really going to shade or do anything like that today. Just to save some time. Okay, then the dark Smoky Slate, I think I used for her shoes. It's a Smoky Slate, but it's just the darker one for her shoes. His shorts are Smoky Slate. And then his, let's see, we had Petunia Pop out, but we put it away. His socks are Petunia, I got that one. Petunia Pop and Pumpkin Pie for him. And he's going to have a pumpkin pie shirt. But I think I did the light pumpkin pie. Let me pull that out. Oh my gosh. Has that ever happened to you where your marker the cap doesn't open? They're so tight. And they're very tight on purpose. So what I do is I just push it together really hard. And then I pull it. Oh, it's going to do the same thing. It's silly. Usually it'll catch then, and all I get off is the cap. But for today's sake, we're just going to not worry about it because you don't want to stand there. I'll just use the other end. Usually I don't use my brush tip marker very much because I like to save it and preserve it because it is soft. It's like a brush. So if you press too hard on it, you can fray the tip. So you just have to be careful when you're using this end. We'll just get him all fixed up. And so there we've got pumpkin pie. Then, let's see, do we need gray anymore for him? I'm looking at my sample card. We don't need gray anymore for him. We just need, so I don't know if you noticed on these, but there's these little, oh my gosh, hang on, there's something on my screen. There we go. These little bolts next to the boy. So I think he's being Frankenstein for Halloween, or he's a Frankenstein dog. I'm not sure. But we are going to make him green because he is a little Frankenstein. So I'm going to do this, do that. And then we're going to come in here. And then we'll die cut these both at the same time. And then I do think our die cutting is done after that. So that'll save a little time to just go ahead and die cut them both at the same time. So I think I said earlier, I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we had so much heat, high heat, for at least a week or longer, and these past few days it's completely changed to beautiful weather. It's been in the 70s. Let's see, we could use dark pumpkin pie for his. He's got a little sleeve here, so we'll use dark there. Okay, good enough, good enough. That's fine. Now, go ahead and trim this off. Usually I try and, I don't really put big pieces through my die cutting machine. It just says more to deal with, and we don't really need to deal with that. Can I get these apart? Yeah, I think I can. Am I in the picture? Nope. There we now I am. Okay, remove this. I'm watching where I want to make sure I don't cut off my puppy's ear. Okay, there we go. That should work. Okay, I'm going to show you the dies and how that all works. And then our card's ready to assemble, and we'll do our box. Okay, so I'm going to get out the little kitty die and the puppy die, like so. This goes with this guy. This goes with this girl, like so. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to grab my Post-it tape. You could use a Post-it note. Most everybody has Post-it notes at home. I would not advise painter's tape. I've heard people say that, but that can rip your cardstock. So Post-it notes or Post-it tape are the safest. Let's get this little kitty lined up. I realize you can't see what I'm doing. My hand's in the way, but you'll be able to see it when I run it through. So let me pull her up a little bit. You want to really make sure these are in the right place, because you do not want to have to come back and redo it, all the coloring. Now, if you love coloring, you might not mind it, but then who wants to do something twice? So for these critters, when I've done coloring, I want to make sure I get them taped down. Okay, so let me know. I didn't ask you yet where you're from. Let me know where you're from and share that with everyone watching and everyone that will be watching. And let us know what your weather's doing. If you're having as beautiful weather as we are, or not. I hope you are. Okay, let's grab this guy. Okay, hang on. Gotta grab a tissue. I wouldn't tell you that because I know who wants to think about someone grabbing the tissue. But I have to pause for a moment to grab it. So I'm thinking, do I just disappear for a few seconds? Or do I say, this is what I'm doing? Okay, there we go. Got all that ready. So let's do our kitty card first. Let's go ahead and see if we got that started. We do need to do a little bit more stamping. I have a strip of Petunia Pop. This is 1/2 inch by, I don't know, around 4 inches. We're going to trim the edges so we don't really care. And of course I've misplaced, here it is. Couldn't find my piercing mat. Was about to live dangerously there for a moment. All right, we are going to stamp this greeting. This is a glass block I got at a leadership event from the person that was sponsoring the event. And so my name's on it and the event is on it. So you might not be able to see as clearly because of the writing on the glass block, but I'm trying to get this straight in the middle. And there we go. That came out pretty good. Let's go ahead and clean this so it doesn't get on something else. But let me know. I'd love to know what your weather's doing. I'd like to know, have you been crafting for Halloween yet or Christmas? Are you working on some, or even Thanksgiving? Are you working on some fall cards? Are you working on birthday cards? Are you still doing summer cards? Summer themed, I guess I should say. Don't worry, eat sweets. I think it's cute. Okay, now I think we're finally ready for this, to put the rest of this. Oh no, we didn't do the little pumpkin. Well, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. I haven't mounted it yet because I forgot about it, so I'm going to grab a glass block and just stick my stamp on there, and then we're going to grab that big piece of scrap paper and stamp it. And then ideally I would remember to stamp this when we were doing all the other die cutting, but what I'm going to do for the video is I'm just going to color this little pumpkin with jack-o'-lantern with pumpkin pie, and then I'm going to fuzzy cut it. So I'm going to grab my light pumpkin pie and go kind of in the middle, and then, oh no, I said I wasn't going to shade anything. Well, we'll shade this little guy. So I'm going to just kind of go around where it will be a little bit darker on his face. Then, I don't know if I can get my pen. Nope, I can't get that apart. So I'll use the paintbrush again. And then I'm just going to blend in that color. That darker one with the lighter one. Make it... It's really tiny, so no one's going to really notice the difference on that. And then I'm just going to cut this with my scissors. So there is a die for this. In fact, there's 2 dies for the little pumpkins. But this will be very easy to fussy cut. That's just a fancy term for cutting out with scissors. And yeah, so if you have this set, or if you purchase it, you can stamp and cut, then you can die cut 2 at a time, because there are 2 little pumpkin dies for this. Okay, let's go ahead and get going here with our kitty. So we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to avoid the middle because the kitty is going to be pretty much in the middle of this. And we'll just kind of center this on those 2 pieces of DSP, just kind of looking from up and down and left to right. Am I pretty much in the center? And I think that's pretty good. Then we'll grab our kitty and let's go get her. I'm just checking where the dimensionals are so I don't go one on top of the other. And we're good there. Use 2 of those. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's turn her upside down so we don't stick to anything. Let's put a mini glue dot. I have to look at this. Yeah, so I was just looking to see if this little jack-o'-lantern should go in front of her paw or in back of her paw. And I think this should go in back. So getting my mini glue dots out, I'm putting my pumpkin face down on the glue dot, and then we're just going to turn this little girl over. We'll put the jack-o'-lantern in her hand. There we go. So cute. Let's put a mini dimensional on that jack-o'-lantern just to make sure it doesn't move around on the card and get bent. So let's go up like this. We're going to put that greeting at the bottom. So I'm spacing her up a little bit higher. She's not really centered exactly. And then I'm going to turn this guy over. Put my dimensionals, regular dimensionals, not mini, on both sides of this. And I think that's all we need really for the greeting. I did think 2 on the very... sorry. 2 on the very ends will work. And I like my critters to not be hanging in the air. So I'm going to put this right under her feet. I don't know why. If you like your critters in the air, you do you. because there's no wrong in stamping. All right, we're going to grab and make a bow. Grab our ribbon, make a bow. And actually, I rarely have an element on my card other than dimensionals that isn't kind of connected to each other. I don't know. I don't think I ever really consciously thought, oh, I'm going to put all my elements close to each other or touching each other. I don't remember ever saying that to myself, but it's possible. But I just like the way it looks. I think it pulls everything together on my card. But again, there's no wrong things in stamping. You just have fun. The whole point with stamping is to have fun and do what you want to do. This is our fun hobby. This is not a stress hobby. Okay, now what I want to show you is in the paper, I don't know if I'll be able to get this out without a hot mess, but in the paper is a whole page of cutouts. I'm just going to pull it out. I've used quite a few because, as I said, we've done so many projects. We did our 9 projects for the PDF craft along, and we did 9 additional projects for those who for just inspiration. So I'm going to pop out just one of the double candy corns and then a single candy corn, and I'm going to lay this all on top of each other. We did go through, if you bought the kit, we did go through and cut your designer paper so that it would go in a 13 by whatever, 14 USPS priority mail envelope. But what we did to make sure everybody got everything is we just kind of went down through the middle of this and cut this like this and then laid it on top of each other in your pack so that everyone will get everything that's in the paper. This was a little bit trickier to do than paper that just has patterns on every side for the whole pack of paper, because then you can just cut it down in 6 by 12 and everybody gets what they need for their cards plus more. But that's how we did that, in case you were wondering if you were going to get candy corns and you had already bought the kit. Okay, so now let's take a big dimensional. I'm going to put this guy down here. And again, I'm going to have him just barely touch my greeting right there, so it kind of blends in. Where's my other one? This guy goes up here. So for this one, I guess I could use a whole one. I'll try it, see if it works. I'm putting it right next to the greeting label and next to the banner. And again, I'm going to have it touch so everything is cohesive. Now this stamp set has a little die that die cuts 2 bats. So I thought, well, we've got Petunia Pop Glimmer. We've already used Peach Pie Glimmer. Let's get a Petunia Pop bat. You might be saying, well, Joey, there's no Petunia Pop bats. They are black. I know, but we are crafting, and we can do what we want when we're crafting. And we can do what we want once we can find our mini dimensionals. Let's see where they could have run off to. Oh, well, it's too big for that guy. I just had them, didn't I? We used them for something. How this happens, I have no idea. And it's not like they're like a tiny thing to lose either. I think I need a mini one. But you know, I do have, actually, we sell black dimensionals. And wouldn't you know it? Oh yeah, I do have some. We sell black dimensionals, and sometimes I forget to pull these out because they're great for any cards that you use black on. So, it'll be good for this card. And we'll get this little bat to go right there. So, Use our black dimensional, and that's just going to be perfect. So our little bat is flying off the card. Now, if it bothers you that it's so high up in the air, you definitely could put another mini dimensional there. We could do that quick. For those of you that are going, it's way too unattached. I'm just peeling this off. It's kind of tricky once you've already put your card together. And this, of course, doesn't want to come off, so I'm putzing with it. You might want to fast forward here if you're watching replay. And get on with it. Oh, for Pete's sakes, just take it, the silly thing off. You probably can't see what I'm doing. Well, it's not sticking. Oh my gosh, what's going on with this? Well, we're going to call that good. It is sticking a little bit. I don't know what happened. I think I worked with it too much and it got unsticky, but that is our... Oh, we're not done. We have to put on our stars, and we have Petunia Pop stars, so we can't miss out on those. Let's grab the... Who else is a purple lover out there? Anybody? I like purple. Purple is a complementary color on my skin. It's a cool tone, and my skin is cool toned, so I like purple, and purple seems to like me. So there we have our sparkly Don't Worry, Eat Sweets card. What do you think of this one? Do you like this one? I hope you'll be commenting and chatting with me. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the comments, but I will come back at the end and look at the comments. Now we're going to make this little box. So every year I always make some little treat boxes. I, in the past, have done quite a lot of craft fairs, and these sell the best. They sell better than cards do. And so I have one for you that fits 2 Reese's pumpkins. And I'll show that to you because I have them here. And I'll show you how it works. So this is, if you bought the class, you have this scored. Now I didn't obviously mark it on yours, but I did score it for you. So that you have all the score marks. But in the PDF, it also tells you the score marks. So this is what it looks like. It's 8 1/4. And then it's by 5 1/2. So you can get 2 out of 1 piece of paper. Let's go ahead and cut it. So this is how, sorry, gosh. This is how we're going to trim it and where we're going to put adhesive. Oh, I guess I only put adhesive on one. This was one of my practice ones. But we're going to start with a new one here. Now, this, on my diagram, this is going this way because you can see here that we've cut out those corners. So, oh, this didn't get scored. Oh, yeah, it did. It's just not scored very deeply, but that's all right. We don't have to have it scored deeply. I'm going to go ahead and burnish all my score lines before I get going here. And my helper was a trooper yesterday. Kim, that's her name. She helped me prep all this so I can be ready to get it out, the kits, anyway. Okay, so now if you look at my diagram here, these, doesn't matter which side, but one of these corners needs to be cut out. So I'm just going to grab my, as I said, it doesn't matter which side. I make really simple boxes, so this is not a fancy box. Now tomorrow we're going to make one of Allie's boxes. Hers is fancier, but a really cute box for treats. And you know, for treats, you can use any occasion. You could make them for Christmas or for birthdays, or you have guests over for Thanksgiving. You can give a little treat and just change the theme on it. Now, oh, I should get my scissors out. So now we're going to cut up here like so. I'm going to cut up to that horizontal. I'm calling those lines horizontal lines here. And same here. And I'm cutting just a tiny wedge. I'm not really cutting and too much of an angle there, but if you cut it at just a teeny wedge, just not exactly straight, they just fold a lot better. Same thing on your ends here, just a very teeny bit to kind of angle it up there, like so. My box design, that when I create it and design it, is always going to be easy, so you can count on that. Just trimming this up just a tad bit. Then we need to cut these guys. I'm not an elaborate box maker. In fact, I've shared with you before, if you've watched me, that I didn't like to do 3D projects. But my best friend that was a stamper at the time, she's still a stamper, she's still one of my closest friends, she loved to do 3D, so she'd always bring 3D projects over. Now, what we're going to do with this is we're going to determine what side's going to be the front. And this, for me, is going to be the front because it folds away, and then all these flaps, this is the side that we cut the flaps off of. So I'm making that the back. You can do it either way. It doesn't matter. The box is going to go together the same way. But I'm just saying that I'm going to determine that now because it's going to depend on what side I put my designer series paper. So I'm going to grab my designer paper and a black mat, and then some other bits we have for this box. And we'll go ahead, if I cut this right. I went over my measurements so many times yesterday for my kits because I knew my brain wasn't completely checked in because I just felt so rotten yesterday. Today I actually feel a little bit better, but my sinuses are still achy. And I'm coughing and my nose, you know, having to blow my nose, etc. But I just knew I needed to check and double check all my measurements. So we're going to just put this on the front panel of our card, and then that's all ready to go. So now, let's assemble our card. So what I usually do is I usually leave the top open on treat boxes. So let me think about this for a moment. I have to just think. This is going to come over like this. Yeah, there we go. And I use glue on my treat boxes. You can use tear and tape, it's good. Or you can use Stampin' Seal Plus. I don't know if our glue is going to make it. I'm going to use it sparingly. Right at the end of that. And then I just fold this over like so. And then lay it flat like so. Now, obviously, we've talked about the glue needs a moment to set. But we're going to go ahead and finish this box. So, this front is the front. The fold folds to the back. So, we want to do that with the bottom as well. So, I'm pulling in these little tabs. Trying to get it where you can see it. And then I'm going to put the back over first and then the front over. But to start that process, I'm going to put some glue on these little tabs right here. Okay, so this goes over like this, and now we need glue along this side like so, like that. Makes sense? Now I know that my ribbon's going to hold this well. Of course, let me use a little more of this. I was trying to scrimp around a little bit, but it's not happy. It needs more to close. And then a lot of times I do, when I'm doing craft fair projects, I'll grab like a glass block of some kind that'll fit in my box. And while I start the next one, I'll let this one start to dry with the glue. It just gives it a good press. Some punches will fit depending on your box size, but just something heavy enough to hold all those flaps down. Now I'm going to grab the candy. So these are the little Reese's Pumpkins. You know, you see these everywhere at Halloween. So 2 of them fit just right in our box. I'm going to go ahead, and I think this is probably good. Doesn't really need to sit too long. And let's go ahead and fill up our box with our treats. Okay, can you see it? You can't really see, but they're in there next to each other, and it fits it really nicely. So now I'm going to, whoops, I want the front to fold over the back. I'm going to grab my ribbon. Now this part is a little bit trickier. If you want to glue this one down, just do it. I personally like to leave the top open so that the receiver, whoops, upside down here, the receiver doesn't have to tear the box, because they don't, most of your friends don't really like, now unless you're giving it to small children, but most of your friends don't really like to tear into a gift box you've just given them a treat in. They like, because it's pretty. They know you worked on it. They know you spent time on it and effort. So that's the reason I leave the top undone. But it does make it a little bit trickier to tie the bow, because you're kind of holding everything together while you're tying the bow. But I've done this many times, and so let's step that time. Tying bows on video is always trickier. But I've done it many times, so that's why I go ahead and do it this way. But you do it whatever works for you. You could just tie it in a knot too. That would work. Grab this. And we got our bow. And it's pretty snug holding the top together. And I like to make, on gifts, I like to make especially loopy bows. Like this. Like so. Okay, so there's our box. Now you could be done with that. You could just put a little tag on that, to and from, and it's cute just the way it is, because the designer series paper. We're going to do a little bit more. I have die cut a stylish shaped circle with the stylish shapes dies. The second one, second biggest, not the biggest, but the second largest. I'm going to put, I don't want this glue on my ribbon. I mean the dimensionals, not glue, but dimensionals. I'm going to put this guy on here. Let's see, I think I'm going to put him up a little further, because we're going to put a greeting at the bottom. This is one of the cut punch outs from the designer series paper, and for this I'm going to do tape and not dimensionals. I'm just going to kind of angle it just a touch, because our puppy's going to be in back of this guy. Then all we need is our greeting. And let's go back to our mini dimensionals again. Just had them, didn't I? Just had them. Our black ones. Now the black ones have disappeared too. I do not know how this happens. Did you guys see me put them anywhere? Sometimes you guys are on the video saying, they're there, they're there, they're there. Oh well. Let's go ahead with, I'm just going to cut a little piece off here. That is the mystery of Facebook Live, that I just don't know. I know other people probably not as scatterbrained as I am. But I do watch a couple of my friends do videos, and they lose stuff too, so I don't think I'm completely alone. Alright, let's put our little doggy up here in the back of the potion bottle, like so. Now all we have is our greeting. Now trust me, this is not a hard box. If you haven't made boxes before, or you've gotten frustrated when you're making them, this one is not hard. You can do this. Let's go ahead and put no tricks, all treats. And we're going to stamp on Lemon Lime Twist with Memento Black. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at your comments at all. I will. And then even if you watch replay, I always come back and read my comments and comment to you as well. So I won't forget you. Let's go ahead and do that. We're good to go at that guy. And now let's go ahead and trim this ends with scissors. I just trim it at an angle. You could trim it straight if you wanted to. I just kind of like it like that. And again, we're going to just hover that just under his feet so he's not flying in the air. Let's go down here. And again on both sides of the ribbon, not right on the ribbon, because then it doesn't stick. I mean, it's sticking to the ribbon kind of sometimes, but it doesn't settle in to stick on your cardstock very well. So let's get him just under his feet, just under our greeting. And come down a little bit. He's not exactly straight, but that's okay. Let's go like that. Now, final touch are the stars. On this one, we're going to use the white stars because we need to use all the stars. And there's white stars in this designer series paper. You can see the white stars, so I thought, oh, we need white stars. So I'm going to put a couple up here on the edge. And they're sparkly. I don't know if they show how sparkly they are on the video, but they're pretty sparkly. And there's our cute little, we could put more stars on this guy. Why not? One here. And maybe even one here. So there we have our 5 stars. That looks nice. I think I like it better with 5 stars. So here's our projects for today, day 1. Now, don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow at 12:30 as well. Here's our projects. Do you have a favorite? Do you love the Happy Halloween card, the Don't Worry, Eat Sweets card, or the treat holder? So which is your favorite today? If you're a Petunia Pop lover, this is probably your favorite, but I won't speak for you. You need to let me know. I'm going to pull up the comments while you're typing in what your favorite is. I'm going to take a drink because I really need it. Now, I'm going to pull up. Gosh, I'm sorry for this hot mess. I always change my paper before I come live, but I didn't today. So let me see the comments. Let's see what we got here. See if they'll come up. There we go. Julie says it's a cute treat box. She wants to try it. Hi, Deborah. Oh, was there a problem with the sound? Let's see. But hopefully it got better. I am plugged in. I have all my electronics sound off except for my computer. And I'm also plugged into the internet, so it should be clear. Julie's working on Christmas cards. We've got 20 done. That's awesome. Tina with all the hearts. You're so sweet. Thank you. Takes a lot to put these classes together. They're so appreciated. Well, thank you, Julie. You're sweet. Very sweet. Okay. I'm not seeing any more comments come in. Let me bring my view back up. I hope you'll watch tomorrow and see Allie's projects. They're super cute. She's such a great designer. And they're not super hard either. So I always think it's the best cards are easy to put together, but they're a wow card. So, and you can leave steps off if you want to, and they still look cute. So we're going to do Allie's tomorrow. And I hope you'll be back here. And thanks so much for joining me today. And I hope I sleep better tonight. I'll be thinking about you guys and coming back on tomorrow and having a good time stamping. So thanks again. All my information and how to get a hold of me and how to shop with me is in the video description, both on Facebook and YouTube. But on Facebook, it will go away after 30 days. So I'm going to click finish here. Well, I'm going to check comments one more time. Julie, you love all my designs. You're very, very sweet. I appreciate you. You always are such an encourager. Okay, let's say goodbye for today. Gotta find the right button. Thank you.